morning. Degenerates with Dice is live again for another episode of the fucking shit show that we like to call the Monday Night RPG Talk Show. Oh, in today's episode, you got Joe, you got
Hello, everybody.
Jen, you got Kristen, and you got me for about the next 30 seconds before I get the hell out of here and go eat dinner and wine and dine and 69 my wife, hopefully. But that's a whole other subject. I think tonight, let's see, I gotta pull up my notes real quick. We're doing, because I gotta scroll because I'm totally prepared.
You and your
Right.
wife or us?
We're doing tabletop updates. We're doing the D&D movie review. What to consider when building a new character, and possibly some game that nobody else has ever heard about called Fallout 76. So, with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Joe, and I am going to go get out of here.
Have
Okay,
fun. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, buddy.
See you
Thanks for the
Wednesday.
intro.
Deuces. We'll see
See ya.
y'all Wednesday.
See you
Bye.
Wednesday. Alrighty, I just switched it over. Alright, so let's talk about some gaming wins first, I guess.
Gaming
Anybody
wins?
anybody have any cool stuff happening in your games lately?
Yes, but real quick, last week after our podcast, one of my friends was watching, and he runs a table that is, I don't know if it's all women or if it's primarily women,
Mhm.
but he messaged me and he's like, "Hey, thanks for your podcast." I was like, "You're welcome." And he's like, "It helps me realize better ways to interact with my table, running it as a male GM with female people on the table." And I was like, "Look at that, we're helpful today,
Awesome.
We're helpful every day.
are we?"
Yes. Even if we're just helpful to lighten somebody's mood or to make somebody laugh or to make somebody think, oh my God, I'm glad I'm not married to Noah.
That's fair. Courtney has to be a saint. Like, she's got to be a saint. But let's see what's happening on my other table. Oh, so y'all know I run the Fallout table for you guys, and then
Yeah.
on the alternating Wednesdays I run a pirate table of 7th Sea, and they're in a maze, and it's it's Fey magic. Like, it's a Fey magic maze. I don't know if y'all know anything about Fey, but one of the going cliches is don't fuck with Fey.
Absolutely.
Anyway, they have decided to kidnap a Fey from the maze, so we'll see how this goes.
It will not
Not
go
well.
well.
Not well.
No, because Sir Noah and another player on the table have split from the party and have gone back into the maze after they've made it almost out. They're in the clearing. They're interacting with the Fey Queen. They are doing all these things that are about to get them out of this maze. And two of the players, one of which is our dear Noah, have snuck back into the maze, and I ended it where he grabbed one of the little Fey creatures and have set off the queen and an old deity. So we'll see how it
dear
goes.
God. That will not
I'm
go
Noah
well.
would
excited.
never, ever, ever try to run amok. He would definitely not run in guns blazing without looking.
That's his middle name, is Dagumil Amok whatever.
Alright, should I go next? Because I'm in a bunch
Yes,
of games.
please.
Oops,
Yes,
sorry.
please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me just share this on my Facebook real quick. All right, yeah. So I have my white box game was fun. We were able to get a special wand that has 3 sleep spells every day. Which, if you know anything about sleep spells, you know that that's way overpowered, and we're gonna be knocking people out here soon. Yeah, we that was pretty cool because apparently the way it worked was an NPC was trying to apparently no one liked his music. And so he was threatening to put everyone in the bar to sleep because no one liked his music and robbed them. And so we sat through a horrible concert that he put on, and in exchange we were able to get his wand. So that was fun in
Oh
that
my
one.
gosh.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And then in my AD&D campaign, we just killed a couple owlbears. So that was pretty much it. And then our paladin sprung a trap and almost killed himself. He was down to 1 hit point because those classic slidey traps. He pretty much just
Very
slammed it
nice.
into himself. So that was fun.
Very nice. Is that your cat? Jen?
That is. I didn't set up. She has a favorite footstool, and I didn't set it up next to me because I did the first week. I didn't do that, and so she was like all up on me. So the second week, I'm like, okay, just set it for bait. I know she'll come over here and she'll sit on it and she'll be good. And then tonight, I said, oh well, she's sleeping in her tree. She'll be fine. And no, she was over here throwing herself on the floor like as soon as I was logging in. So this is Callie.
Oh,
Hey, Callie.
love it.
Oh, she is she's a brat. She'll be back.
Heck yeah. So back to the traps and the all of that good stuff in D&D or anything. I have trouble using puzzles and traps because
Yeah.
y'all will spend an hour trying to open a door that's not locked and there's nothing wrong with it. But any type of meaningful puzzle that I present to any of you, just burn it down. It's just set it on fire. So, hold it. I know this is off topic, but do y'all have as GMs or Joe? I know that you're GM.
Yeah.
Any favorite puzzles or things that you use? Because I have my one go-to that I always have.
Well, so I tend to steer away from puzzles too much, and traps I tend to give it to them. I prefer to like have it be like blatant what the trap is, but they have to figure out a way to get around it. And I find that that's easier because like if you sit there to let them figure it out, they'll never figure it out because
That's true.
players are just really good at not figuring shit out, which is fine. You know, that's part of the game. But so for me, it's just that if I have a trap, I generally here my mic's a little hot. I don't I don't try to make it. I try to put all the clues out there. Same thing with puzzles. I try to have all the clues, and then they just have to figure out the mystery based on that. But yeah, as far as like puzzles go, the only one that's my go-to is like one of my old GMs. She used this is like it's a house that every time they go to the door, they're transported back outside, and they have to find out where the switch is. Once they find the switch, they can actually go in, but there's like a like a teleporter that just sends them right back outside. And so they try all the windows and everything, and they just can't get into this house because it just teleports them back outside because of a warning spell. And so they
It's
have
like
to,
Groundhog Day over and over again.
yeah, until they figure out that there's a switch, and then they get inside. Even though that didn't work in my last time I read it because I was running Rifts and my buddy, he was playing this what they call Glitter Boy, which is a giant robot with a massive railgun, and he just blew the house up when he got frustrated with it. So, in typical player fashion, that's
Was the
how that
house
works.
important?
Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah,
That's GM
Well,
rule
as
number one is always have a backup.
yeah. The backup it was fine because the house was just like a hiding place for like this group that like it was like it had like a vault underneath it essentially. So it was just to hide the vault underneath. And so then when they
Okay.
blew it up, they found the
Within
the
the
opening
vault.
to the vault. Yeah. So I gave
My
it to
go
him. I gave it to him.
Right. That's fair. I mean, I guess it's tomato tomato at that point.
Yeah.
60
Yeah.
one, half dozen the other. My
Yeah.
go-to is always there will be a door that appears that says knock twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all it says. And watching them trying to figure out what the hell that means is amazing.
Just knocked
you
twice.
just knock on the door twice, right?
Nope.
Oh,
You want me to tell you, or are you just gonna try to figure it out?
Please
I'll
tell
think on
us.
it.
Oh, okay. You want to think on
Nah, nah, I'll think on it.
it? Okay.
Okay.
Well, we'll come back to it then later.
We'll come back to it. If we don't get
Um,
back, somebody remind us.
yeah,
I got
somebody in
it.
the chat remind us.
I got it.
Yeah, so that's pretty much been my winning. Jen, do you want to like recap the what was it, the Fallout game since currently that's the only one you're playing in?
So let's see, because we did.
Mm,
I don't have my notebook, but for those who follow Fallout 4, um, which before I get into that, I want to talk about the puzzle things that you guys were talking about.
Okay.
As players, because I don't GM yet.
Hold
As
on.
play,
Yeah.
yet
Yeah.
I am toying with the idea, but
You
we'll see
should.
because there's a myriad of other hobbies.
Yes. Okay. Sorry. Continue.
As players, yeah, we don't want to sit down and take time and think about something. We want to want to shoot things and keep going. You know, we
Yeah.
have that end goal. We want to get to it, and we don't want to sit and think. We barely want to sit and sleep. And so, and the best way I can think about it is if you've played Fallout 4 and you've played the Far Harbor DLC, when you get to the puzzle thing, and I can't remember the guy's name,
I know what you're
Nick
talking about.
Valentine's, Nick
Yeah,
Valentine's
brother
brother.
or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, uh, his synth sibling.
yeah.
When you get to that puzzle, and it's just like, oh my god, it's the worst part of the entire game.
Wait, which puzzle is it?
It's
It's the one where you're in the
you
computer.
move, yeah, you move cubes in this like virtual reality thing.
Yes.
So that one is it's interesting. And with our current game, I don't have my notes with me right now. We currently have gone to Fort Strong, and the problem that my group is having with Fort Strong right now is
All of it.
we did not pay attention to our surroundings like we should have. And we were even warned. Are you sure that you're not going to take a look around?
When a DM
And
asks you that, you should. They're giving you a freebie.
and nobody took it. Nobody out of all the group, nobody took it. So now
Well, you
it
knew I
has
wasn't going to take it.
No, I knew you weren't.
so now um our predicament is that there is a super mutant behemoth, which super mutants are like big guys anyways. They're like 8 feet tall. Super mutant behemoth is like what, 12 feet maybe, something like that. He's a
They're pretty
big,
big. Yeah,
and
They're big.
Dima, that's it, that's the name.
yeah,
Natalie coming in clutch
Um,
in there.
yeah. As always.
um, it's now possibly cost us our scribe, who's currently, as we ended the game, and ended the session, is downed in a set of power armor that we've been toting her um, through a couple of episodes because Maddie's been busy with her play A Few Good Men, which to my knowledge is
Town Theater.
awesome. Yes.
Very
If you're
good, very
in
good.
Ohio near that area, go see it. It's gotta be
I'm-
fun.
I'm in Ohio, but I have no clue where she is.
Did you
I
pay your
assume
Google
it's far
subscription?
away. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Ohio's a big
I bet
place.
we could ask her.
Yeah, Ohio's a big place.
She shared the link for the theater, so I follow them,
she
so I
did?
get to see all the little, behind the scenes snippets and things, even though I'm nowhere near Ohio.
Gotcha.
But well,
But-
okay. I
so
wasn't going to
she's-
make anything happen to the to Scribbles, but y'all insisted
You
on
liar.
no. You insisted on telling me that y'all were doing something with her, like you were watching her and you were carrying her. So I had no choice but to like acknowledge that she was in the scene.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if
True.
y'all
that's
hadn't have
fine.
said anything, I'd have been like, oh, she's just along for the ride, like whatever. But you made it a point to tell me about it, so
So we bit ourselves in the ass.
yeah, pretty much.
Fair. Kind of gave you some ammunition.
Yeah. Fun. It's fun. It's a good time.
I'm sure she'll love it when she gets back.
Oh yeah. Does she even know what happened? No.
No.
If she's read the notes, it should be in the
chat.
text thread from where I post the
I-
notes after the session.
It'll be cooler if she doesn't, and she just finds out. She might be on tonight too. We'll find out if Maddie actually can show up. I know
Oh, if she
she's
comes
running
in
by.
tonight, we should tell her what happened.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely tell her what happened.
You know what's happened. Oh, so
All
what
right.
was our first item? Was it the D&D movie?
Yeah, D&D movie Honor Amongst Thieves.
I
Jen
went to go
just
see
saw it
that
this morning.
today. I did. I went on a lunch date with my husband and caught the first showing of the day at 11:40, and there was only we had a theater almost all to ourselves because it was matinee during the week. Spring break happens next week, so it was nice and quiet. And I tell you, I laughed more through this movie than I thought I would. And so there were some parts that I recognized from the trailer, so I don't mind talking about those guys. Um, my one of my oldest son who does D&D as well. He's like, "Well, I'm not watching you tonight, Mom, because you're going to do spoilers for the movie." And I was like, "There's won't be that many spoilers. Come
Yeah, there
on."
won't be that many
I
spoilers.
won't say anything that's outside of the trailers. But the fat dragon, I
Oh
could
my
not stop
gosh.
laughing.
I
I
will say
could
this
not
about the
stop
fat
laughing.
dragon. I was surprised that no one tried to seduce the fat dragon. This is a D&D movie.
I
I'm
know.
And
just
there's a
saying.
bard.
Yeah,
There's a
like
bard.
the fact that no one tried to seduce the fat dragon, I did find a little offensive. But sorry, please continue with your take.
But I really, really enjoyed it. There wasn't as much, and it did sound. So I watched the one from 2000 last night, and I was looking. I was like, I thought that there was another one that had Chris Pine in it. I don't know if they've just been like hawking this one like forever, but I could not find another one except for the one from 2000. And then I saw that there
Yeah.
were some TV movies throughout like the early, like maybe like 2010-ish. So I know that I'm sure that there's a list somewhere, but I was reading with one of my I used IMDb for it, and it's like
Okay.
there's one that's hard to find to if you want to watch it because of some uh not licensing issues, but apparently somebody who had um the company behind it had gone bankrupt, so it was hard them getting
Mm,
a hold of that certain movie. I'm not sure. And then I saw that there was a D&D cartoon in the
yeah.
80s.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I didn't realize it until I saw it on YouTube earlier. And then when I saw it on YouTube, it clicked that there was an Easter egg of that group.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
hmm
What was
Was
it?
it in the?
Towards the end of the movie, it shows that group
Oh
as
yeah, yeah. In
another
the
group
arena.
that was. hmm
And that's in the trailer too. Okay, I didn't even notice that. But yeah, the dwarf. I think I wasn't he part of that group.
I don't remember. It was such a quick clip, but I
Yeah.
remember when they showed the thing, I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
I
okay.
know that group now." Because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was wondering, I was like, "There's got to be, where are the other groups at?" And I saw them when they finally showed it, and
Gotcha.
it was a really interesting movie. I really enjoyed it. And the one from 2000 that I watched last night was really interesting as well. And I was thinking, I was like, "Wow, this is so 2000. I didn't even
Yeah.
know about this movie." And I was a teenager then, and but it wasn't my it wasn't something that my group of people, not group
Right.
of the
Yeah.
friends of
Yeah.
mine watched. So
Yeah.
if they had, I would have watched it. It was really interesting, and the
Was it?
graphics on it were a lot better than I thought they would be
Yeah, for
for a
2000.
2000 movie. But they also seemed very 2000 at the same time.
God, that
And
was
I
like
loved
20 years ago.
Yeah.
23.
23.
Yep.
Oh,
Don't
And
wow.
depress me like that.
yeah, my 20th high school reunion came up and went by, and I'm like, oh, that
Yeah.
stings.
Mm,
Um, but I really enjoyed it, and I was watching the first one. My thought process is on the makeup. It had his Jim Henson kind of labyrinth vibe to it,
Oh,
with some
really?
of the different characters, different races, and their makeup and such. And with the Honor Among Thieves, as I was watching that one, it had some more CGI, but I did notice that not a lot of the the people weren't as CGI'd.
No.
yeah.
Some of the effects on the people were, but
Yeah.
as far as costuming and such,
Mhm.
it was like that. It was good, and I heard when they were talking about different places, they're like, "Oh yeah, well Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter."
Yeah.
And I was like, "I've heard of Baldur's Gate. I know something about that. I don't remember what it is, but I know about it. I've heard of it."
I'm aware that exists. Yay.
Yeah, and my husband was like, "Yeah, that because he knows more about it than I do." And he's like, "Yeah, that's like a section of it. It's in the games." So I'm like, okay, I said, "So that makes sense." What I was disappointed about it though is with the D&D movies in general is it for somebody who's never seen D&D or knows nothing about it, and they just go to
Mhm.
the movie,
They would not
they
get it.
yes, they see a dungeon and they see a dragon, but they don't understand the significance of the
Yeah.
title to what's going on in the movie.
There were a lot of
Um,
references too that I don't think a lot of people would get if they didn't know
Yeah.
anything about D&D, and that was one of my qualms. But I'll continue with your review. I have plenty of stuff to say about this. So
I
Joe's
I
got notes.
I think that they kind of had a missed opportunity with the series to do a uh, so with the not second Jumanji, the Jumanji that had
yeah, the
the
new
video
one.
game one with
Yeah.
The Rock and Chris
Yeah.
Hart and Jack Black.
Mhm.
That one I thought it was really funny because that's how I would expect a D&D to be, is that you
Mhm.
have this person as another person. So the actor is acting as a character, acting as
Yeah,
another character.
like an Avatar
But
sort of thing.
yeah, and
Mhm.
that's kind of how I expected a Dungeons and Dragon thing to be um, for the movie, but because I know it's a tabletop role playing game.
Yeah.
Right. Can we pause for just 1 second?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that since I've become a GM, any movie that I watch, I play it out like a scene in one of my tabletops. Because in Jumanji's one, like it's just these things like that's how you think about things now. Once you start
Yeah.
GMing things is oh they did this or this is the counteraction that this is what they're gonna do and you know anyway that's just any movie can be made into some sort of game. Just
Yeah, that's how you do it. You steal every movie you can. Like I
100%.
guarantee you, there's going to be like 50 Honor Amongst Thieves games tomorrow because of all the kids who watched
Oh
it. And
yeah.
are just like, I have to steal everything. Well, not kids. Everyone knows it's like people over 30 watching that movie, but they're all stealing
Yeah,
that.
there were everybody that was in the theater that I saw. There's there's all like 5 or 6 of us.
Yeah,
In the matinee today, we're all 30 up,
yeah,
which is fine.
yeah. That's
You
fine.
know,
Yeah.
didn't have rowdy teenagers in there, didn't have screaming kids, which I love teenagers. I have rowdy teenagers. I've
Do
had
you?
screaming kids. I love my rowdy
Yeah, yeah. That's
teenagers.
just it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just real quick, my friend Mike texted me. He said that there's nothing wrong with the D&D movie. Just for the record, that is his input. He just can't chat it.
No, I really, really enjoyed it, and I look forward to them making another one.
Yeah. So
I
am
do.
I.
It was really good. It was really good. I do
Hmm.
laugh that I I do like that it made me laugh, which
Yeah.
it was, and it had some good fight scenes, and there were a couple of like when they fight the big baddie, I looked at my husband, I was like, hoot, growl, hoot, growl, hoot, growl. And he, because it's something that happens in a D&D thing that we watch, where they play, where it's called Fantasy High through Dimension 20 from College Humor and
Oh
Dropout.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And their mascot in there is the owl bears. And I was like,
Oh
oh,
yeah, yeah.
that's an owl bear. Hoot, growl, hoot, growl, hoot, growl. He knew what I was talking about. Anybody else in the theater would have gone, what?
All
I
right.
really, really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
So if you
Cool.
haven't seen it, go see it.
Yeah, go see it for sure, especially if
good.
you're a gamer. I'm
Really
gonna
good.
give my take on it. You guys are gonna like this. It was good, but it moved to like they did too much stuff in the movie, if that makes sense. Like there was a lot going on. A lot of
Did they
quick
throw in all the
jokes, which is fine.
cliches?
Yeah, they threw in all the cliches, a lot of inside jokes that are D&D inside jokes, like a lot of inside stuff. Yeah, like I said earlier, like if you're not a D&D player, you're not going to get half of that movie. Like it's
No.
just like it's going to go over your head. And they didn't really give a lot of exposition for that kind of stuff. Because I was hoping that it would be more of like a way for get new people into it, but it was really just a D&D movie made for D&D nerds.
Hmm.
If that makes sense. But it was funny. It was really funny. Once again, I was disappointed they didn't try to seduce the dragon because I mean, if it's a D&D movie, they should have at least tried. You know what I
The
mean?
bard
Like
didn't
that's
seduce anybody.
Yeah, that's yeah. I did like the fighter barbarian lady being in love with a halfling. I guess that is kind of
Yes.
a spoiler,
And then the
but
halfling had another big lady.
that was
Sorry,
yeah
spoilers.
that was kind of a spoiler, but it's not a big part of the story, and it's
That's true.
adorable, and I really like that 'cause that's what happens in games is the biggest person always tries to wed the halfling. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, but there's just a lot of inside jokes that I mean, it was pretty good though. The CGI was good. The last battle was okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
it was okay at best. The ending, without spoiling it, I did not like that much. It was just sort of like bleh. But the jokes are really good, and if you like D&D, I mean, it's just one giant D&D joke. My other complaint though is that the characters had way too many good ideas, and as a GM, players do not have good ideas. That is not how a campaign would go. Like they had so many good ideas that like players don't think that way. Players are just
No.
like they'll try it 2 times and then they just try to break whatever it was. Like the whole wagon scene, that would have never have gone that way. I'm sorry. They would have just attacked the entire thing. Like that's just and then found a way to get it in. Like the
That
But the
That's the
players
chiseling,
aren't that good. Like
when
was
they
that?
any
did the chiseling,
Yeah, like that would never
they were
happen.
like,
Like
if you haven't seen the movie, sorry, we're gonna give you spoilers. We're into it.
oh yeah, sorry.
Uh,
I keep getting yeah,
but
sorry. ADHD. Yeah.
but at the root of every D&D party, at their bare, they are murder hobos. Everybody,
Yeah, they're butter
every
hobos.
single
Yeah.
person.
Don't get me wrong. They try to come up with good ideas, and then they just like, but their good idea is not that great of an idea. No, Noah, you do not have great ideas.
No, Noah, you don't have great ideas.
But like, that's the funny part of it. That's part of the fun is that they get a idea, and then the GM like gets all like dejected, and
and then they roll a
roll a
nat
20
one.
and then it just happens. Yeah, either roll a nat 1 or they roll a 20. Either something really horrible happens or really something good happens. But on the flip side of it, the good thing about that movie is that they failed a lot, and the failure was what
Mhm.
was interesting. And I think that's really important for
And
D&D
he's the
groups.
king of failures.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
all kings of failures, and that is great.
Yeah, and they talk about all the different plans that they have to do. And you just watch as they fail in a myriad of different ways, and then they regroup and they find a way out of it. But once again, players aren't that good at finding a way out of things, so that was very unrealistic to me. But overall, it was fun. Uh, full disclosure, I watched a pirated copy of it, so it wasn't the best quality for me, but I was able to get the gist of the movie, and it was pretty good. Like I mean, like I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. I'd watch it again. I'd watch
It
it
was
again.
good. I'll watch it again.
I'll probably end up watching it again once it comes out to streaming. And when you watch any movie a second time, you're gonna catch even more things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
100%.
yeah. Because it moved
No,
pretty fast to me. Like there was a lot like being vomited at you, like the
it was.
entire time.
And
And it
as
still
a
had a
GM,
2 hour and 15-minute
yeah,
runtime.
it did.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah.
It didn't seem like that was that long either. It didn't seem like you were sitting there for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But as a GM watching the game or watching the movie, you could anxiety.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
Well, you have your regular anxiety plus GM anxiety.
yes.
yeah.
Well, the first like major scene of what they did when they jumped out the window and the guy's shouting behind them, and I was like, "This is my table.
Yeah,
This is my
yeah.
table." They didn't even wait for the answer. They
No.
just did it.
Yeah, like we have to escape, and then they just are like, "Well, there's a window. Let's just jump out of it."
Yeah. No, stop it. No, the end, the last like the epic battle was not what I had hoped it would be.
No,
And
no.
I'm sorry, spoiler, mute me or whatever, but watching two people fight with Mage Hand is just not
It-
what I wanted to see.
I don't want to give it away, but it was so cheesy what they did. That was just cheese.
Well,
I
they
don't
combined
wanna
all the
give it away.
tropes. Like all the
Yeah.
tropes, it was just a culmination of all that.
Yeah, it was. Well, I don't think it was even like particularly Mage Hand because Mage Hand is like a cantrip
Yeah, that's
spell,
fair.
but like it was a different spell. Like I don't want to like ruin it for anybody, but
Yeah.
like you're like when you see it, you're going to be like, okay, this is
Oh.
kind of cheesy. There's a lot of other stuff that was cheesy, But the main villain. I mean, there was a twist. There's a M Night Shyamalan twist going on in there.
Ram Ding Dong.
Yeah, and the twist wasn't like really that great.
There's
villain
it's
was
more than
pre-
one villain.
Yeah, and
That's
the villain
that's
the
the twist.
actual
There's more than one villain.
yeah, and like it was the villain wasn't really that interesting. It was more or less
No.
just like, okay, what's Chris gonna do next? You know what I mean? That was pretty much the
Yeah.
entire movie. It's like, okay, what dumb thing are they gonna do next? And that was fine.
And in that sense, it was extremely predictable too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But the fat dragon was my favorite part.
yeah.
Yes. Well, I don't know how it ended up so fat. I kind of want to know the dragon's backstory because I'm pretty sure it's pretty funny.
You
it's
and all the
probably 'cause-
internet probably do.
Yeah, but I
Also-
don't want to. If I Google that, I don't think I want to know what comes up.
Yeah.
Make sure safe
yeah,
search is
that's
on.
true. Yeah.
Make sure safe search is on.
Also, what was I say? The paladin, without like giving his name away or anything, he was totally a GM NPC. You know when you play like your first game
yeah.
and the GM NPC is way overpowered compared to everyone
100%.
else. He was totally that, and it like drained me a little bit. Like
But
it's
it
just
was
like
obvious that he was that too. They
Yeah.
designed him that way.
yeah, like it's like he had very little personality, which is like how GMs run NPCs half the time because it's just like, okay, why are
Hey.
you talking to this guy? Not you,
I
'cause
don't
you
know.
put personality in
Paystar's pretty
everything.
fun.
Yeah, but well, like I'm talking about like NPCs that like you like you
Mhm.
know that you're just like the GM's on like their third hour and they've been talking to a goblin for the first 2.5 hours of the game,
Yeah.
and you're
And
just
you're like,
okay,
motherfucker, just do the
yeah,
thing.
just listen to this guy to get you on the quest. That's what that character felt like. He was just like moving them along, but he was also way
Yeah.
more powerful than they were, and yeah, he didn't go with them. You know. Yeah, it was
I
just-
like that.
commentary
He's
about
like,
him
I gave
walking
you the
away was great.
tools. They
yeah, yeah.
go.
Yeah, but that was the whole point of the NPC thing. That's why that was part of the joke. That was like an inside joke for D&D players because it's like this guy is obviously an NPC.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Just straight line. Yes.
I was so just waiting for him to get just stuck in place
Yeah.
and just keep
Just
walking
like-
in place. Yep.
I was
that,
waiting
that
for him just to be like patrolling the Mojave really makes you wish for a nuclear winter. For all my Fallout
What-
fans.
what a great segue into Fallout 76.
Oh yeah, we can do Fallout 76 now. I haven't been playing in a while, so I just want to hear what you guys have to say on that.
Did I send you the meme that I found that was somebody said in Twitter or whatever that video games should have a blooper reel, and somebody said,
Yeah.
yeah, but Bethesda lets you experience it in real time.
Yeah.
Oh
that's
yeah, with the
76.
glitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
They're
that
my
is
favorite.
that is definitely, and that's any glitch that I can catch in photo mode, I do, and I love when it comes back up on my.
I like the
screen, just
twerking
loading
ghouls.
screen.
They always booty shaking everywhere.
I've had in Project Paradise. Let's see, I've had like when the Radstag deer things fall in the water. Somehow they just can't handle being in water as a corpse, and they just start like flailing all over the place. And it's always fun. I love when things get stuck in the ceiling. So I got pictures of a ghoul stuck in the ceiling.
Until you get
at
stuck in the
guided
ceiling.
meditation.
Or under a camp.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That happens at least once a day. At least.
Yeah.
And
I used to
sometimes
hate it
my
when people would
camp,
glitch
sometimes
into your
somebody
house.
else's.
Remember when people were glitching into your house and stealing all of your stuff? That was
Yep.
just like the most annoying thing ever because I had so many cool weapons and they just stole them all, and then I had to wait
This
until
is
they
my
reset
shit.
everything.
They fixed some of the at least the stash box stealing.
Yeah.
The Smash Bros.
Yeah.
glitch. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's still glitches and there's still
That's because
hacks.
it's
They're
Bethesda.
They're not as much. Yes.
Yeah.
And some people have put it as they break it because they can.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, well,
Because Todd Howard's a
uh,
dick.
d- well, not that Bethesda breaks it. It's
Oh.
that players they know that the find the exploits and they're like, hey, this is wrong. Well, let's exploit it.
I want to be
Yep.
that smart.
I just
But
I just
then
want to
you can
collect
use your
stuff.
powers for good.
Yeah, like I just want to
She was
collect
like, I
stuff
just want
now.
to hoard things.
Yeah, like I just want to go around and
Oh my
find cool
gosh.
stuff and make stuff. Like I don't really want to like deal with people trying to steal my shit. You know what I mean? I just want to like give the
Right.
level 5 some stim packs and then like watch as they're like, "Oh my god, you just gave me some steel." It's like, "Yeah, here you go. You can actually make stuff now."
Vintage Nuka Shine. That's what you have to give
Yeah.
them. Always. I'm helping.
Well, they have to get
It
the
gives you
experience.
yeah, a little experience, a little don't take candy from strangers.
Yeah,
Or
Lesson.
always
especially
take
not
candy
from
from strangers,
Kristen.
kids. I am proud of being strange. Y'all can fuck off. Um, what was I gonna say? Lost my train of Oh, it
You're good.
cracks me up because with the Fallout tabletop, Bethesda partnering with Modifius, and just being Bethesda, there's typos and
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
fucked up things in the rulebook, and I'm like, oh, this is the
Just like
Bethesda
the
we all
real
know and
games,
love.
it's not play
Yeah,
tested enough. Just like the
yeah.
real
Hey,
games.
I play tested that thing, and we tried to break it.
Yeah, but like you were one of the few playtest groups, and it should have gone like another 6 months before they put the book out, but they didn't.
Yeah, but welcome to
Sorry,
America, the land of the
I'm
almighty dollar.
complaining. I'm complaining. Uh,
Well, but we've managed to make our own systems as far as combat and things, and so they're not so convoluted and bogged down too.
yeah, yeah, but it's completely
Yeah,
house
we've
ruled at this point.
but it's fun.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
it's
fun.
fun.
Is
Fun.
that
I
the word we're
enjoy
going
it.
with?
Yeah,
I mean, it's fun.
I
It's
enjoy
fun.
it.
It's fun
I
because you
enjoy
house
it.
ruled everything.
I did.
Like if we
Yeah,
played
I
it
was
by
like,
the
well,
rules, it would be fun.
We what do we use?
we
We
would still
used
be in
it.
combat from the first one.
Oh yeah, we would still be in combat. Yeah, from the first session. Yeah,
But see, there it is, a puzzle that you solved so that we could just go keep shooting things
yeah,
because that's what we
yeah.
want to do.
Yeah,
We want to
because
shoot and loot.
people want to shoot things, they want to kill things, and they want to throw dice. That's what they want to do.
That's what they want to do. Yeah, that's all.
And
That's
if
really
you,
yeah. They just want to have a good story. I mean, there are players that do want to have all the crunch. Like I played a few crunchy games, and sometimes it's fun, but the crunch has to mean something. The crunch in Fallout 2D20 doesn't really mean all that much. It just adds a layer of crap onto it.
it's
Because like
already bogged
there's
down.
yeah, yeah, like Noah says, you forget to seduce things when you have all that crunch in there. Um,
A true bard never forgets to seduce anything, Noah.
that's true. That's true. But that's kind
Get
of
good.
yeah. That's I mean the crunch is a big issue for me. That I mean if it leads to the story like RuneQuest has a lot of crunch, but everything is story based and it all works together. This just doesn't have that. Like it's just like they have a 2D20 system to have a 2D20 system. Is that what it feels
Yeah.
like? Instead of just going a D20, it just feels yeah. Yeah.
Forgot
Sorry,
to anyway.
yeah,
I don't know
Noah's
what's happening. Um, well, I don't even know like what they based it off of.
It's based off of like their like I think it was Modifius's like in-house system, so they don't have to pay any licensing to anything. That's the only reason why they have it is because it's their
There we
system.
go.
Yeah.
That was the seduced. You want to loot, shoot, kill, and seduce.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That is true. But yeah, it's
What?
their own in-house system. That's the only reason why it's 2D20s. It's their own in-house system.
It's fair.
Well, I guess since we're already talking about tabletops again, we should probably go on to our next topic, which is character design, how to build a character that you like and all that. 'Cause that will probably take
Yes.
us a while to get through.
You want to start it, Joe?
Yeah, I can start it. For me, building a character is obviously I like to play an NPC because I mostly play a GM. So for me, playing an NPC is like the best thing to play. So generally, I play very like
I read that
not
as
a
gangbang.
hero, not a hero bard.
Yeah.
No, I don't like playing heroes. I like playing anti-heroes at best. I generally want to see everyone else just sort of do their thing. You know what I mean? I like to be in the background a little bit. Not really the background, but just like assist
Yeah.
everything else. Like
Well, you're
that's
kind
kind
of
of
like
my
my little
thing.
voodoo doll.
Yeah, yeah.
I,
Uh, Like if no one else is going to fail, I'm going to fail. That's how I feel about it. I mean,
So
like,
that's why me working as your bodyguard works well because you can kind of sit back and not really pull the strings, but
yeah, yeah,
kind of be the ringleader ish.
yeah.
and
E-
use
Even though
that
not
cool
really.
charisma.
He's the
Yeah,
captain of the bathroom. He has a title but no power.
yeah, like I just I do things regardless of what the group is going to do, and then you just have to react to what I'm doing. So the same thing that Noah does, which is like he's going to do something, and then like whatever happens happens, and like because like I don't care if he dies, so it's just like whatever happens happens.
Yeah. Now, have you always
No,
played characters like that?
Uh, Pretty much. Like when I was really young, I didn't play characters like that. I used to like when I first started playing, it was just like the halfling rogue and all that. But I quickly
Yeah.
switched, especially after I started playing. After I started GMing, I just stopped caring about being a hero because that's everybody else's job. I prefer just to root them on, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like playing a bard and seducing things while everyone else is killing the owlbears and whatnot.
you're giving bardic inspiration. That's important.
Yeah, yeah, it
Learn
is.
that. I've learned that watching Dimension 20.
Dimension 20.
Yes. Watching them, I've learned bardic inspiration can do a lot.
Yeah, I play sporadically on a table on Thursdays, and I am a bard, and the only two things I can do are bardic inspiration and fairy lights. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's all you need. That's all you
That's
need.
all I can do.
Hey, warlocks only have one thing, and that's Eldritch Blast, so you're doing okay.
It's fair. I catch
mean-
fire. I did throw a shoe at a dragon one time, but that's beside the point.
That's kind of like that's kind of like that. And like I'll play a face in a lot of games. Right now I'm playing a hero in my AD&D game, and I do feel a little kind of out of place in that one because like we all had to be heroes, and it's just like I don't really enjoy playing just a generic hero. That's not fun to me. I want to like mix things up and make it more interesting. And I
Evil's
have
always
noticed.
a lot more fun.
Yeah, like and I have noticed that like I don't really like playing unless I could just be more of that NPC sort of character who's in the background who isn't completely good and and can just move the story forward more than he is like the story himself. Like I don't want to be the story, I just want to be the catalyst for story making.
So you don't want your character to have a character arc and all that, a redemption tale or anything like that.
No, I don't care about any of that. Like I'd rather him just like be a part of a cooler redemption arc or a cooler story, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, like when we just did Maddie's, and
Yeah. Yeah.
that was cool to watch.
Yeah. So
And you were
that's
an
my take.
integral part of that.
Yeah, I blew a bunch of stuff up. I blew up
You
one of
blew
our
people
party
up. You
Yeah.
blew people up.
Yeah. But it was just to like separate
Including
it
a
so that,
fellow ghoul.
yeah. But that was just to separate it so that she could have like her like seed, you know what I mean? Because it's just like
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that like it was like a separate thing where like because we all just stood by and watched as she just like wrecked him and took like a
Well-
Gatling laser to the chest, you know what I mean? So it was just like just to separate
And-
everything out.
Can I tell you guys how much I appreciated that? Because most tables would have been like trying to step all over her for
Yeah,
that. You know,
yeah.
I want to do this, or I'm doing this, or I'm gonna jump in and do this. But y'all understood the brevity of what was happening and
Yeah.
and how important it was to her
Yeah.
to do this. And I appreciate that for you guys, like from you guys, because anybody like most other tables would have been not as cool about it.
I mean, that was the best part of it. Like, it was watching her have her moment. Like, I always like to see people like having their moment and having their speeches. That's why I wanted to see Sally have that speech when she killed the super mutant that she knew. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like I like seeing people have those moments because then it feels like a movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, and Maddie's gonna remember that forever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like her first like real, solid
She's
scene
she's been working on that for forever. You know what I mean? So
Uh-huh. since day one that
just-
we played together.
yeah. So I mean, it was cool that way, and and Marty needed to die because he was going feral, so it was just,
My-
just separate everything, and then we just kind of watched as she just wrecked this guy, and that was it. And she got a
It
cool
was great.
coat out of it, so
Hell yeah.
No,
she did.
you got a cool coat out of it.
no, that's her coat.
No, I
Even
thought
if
you
I
took the
even if
coat.
even if I took it, I mean, like it's her coat. She earned that, so like if I
Sure.
have it on my person, she's getting it. So yeah, but that's my 2 cents. I'll chime in more later, but I want to hear what you guys have to say.
about character creation.
Yeah.
I tend to create characters that are a lot like myself, which are a lot of chaotic, super
Yeah.
chaotic characters. And not necessarily even like chaotic evil, like chaotic neutral or and I love to play a lawful good character that follows the law to the letter to cause as much chaos as I possibly can. Like
Yeah,
Amelia
if you
Bedelia,
actually
watch
play
out,
it,
here I come.
yeah.
But I do that because it's easier for me to tap into who I am than try to act as my character would if they didn't align with me. I don't
Yeah.
know. And I know that a lot of people like will choose something that's the opposite of who they are
Yeah.
to explore something in themselves that they're trying to figure out. But I always tend to play chaos, and I think that it's a lot of fun, as you
It's
can see
generally
from
more
my
fun.
tables.
Yeah.
Is chaos, yeah. But then
I
you have
just
good. You can see the people across the table from you just that look, and you're like, okay, I will not do that this time. I will not
yeah.
throw the shoe at the dragon because I see you're getting annoyed. I will read the room.
But like that's the story though. That's my thing is like if we're all playing goody two shoes that and nothing happens that's like interesting. You know what I mean? Like
Then you
because like
can't
Yeah,
roll for war crimes.
yeah,
you
yeah, you
cannot
can't
roll
roll
for
for
war
war crime.
crimes.
And like I'm not I mean, every group is different. Like if you want to play like a group of like good heroes, which is what most people play, I think that's fine, but like I would rather play a group of 5 rogues that are like, morally ambiguous than
Yes,
like I mean that's what the movie was about. It was about morally ambiguous characters. And
100%.
I mean, just think that that's more interesting to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but I personally think that that's the way to go. Like,
Morally
I
ambiguous.
yeah, and like I mean, I've played like I said, I'm playing a good character right now, and I'm not getting the enjoyment that I want out of it because it's just not super interesting. Because I can't do chaotic stuff, and like yeah, I'm following the law to the rule, but we're just in a dungeon, so the law really doesn't matter. And yeah, like it just I don't know. I just like chaos is a good thing. I'd be like
You can
if a
still be a
player,
hero and be chaotic though.
yeah, exactly. But like I mean, yeah, but just like if it's just being a hero, like I get that when you're like 13 and you're first playing, but eventually you're going to get to the point where it's like, okay, I need a little bit more. And
You get in
like,
your villain era.
yeah, and like being an evil character is a lot of fun, and you get to explore a lot of stuff, like way more stuff than you would if as a lawful good character.
I agree. Now, on my 7th C table, one of the core rules of 7th C is that you are pirate heroes.
Yeah,
There's not any villainy because if you start doing things that the GM would consider villainous, you start getting villain points, and eventually, if you
uh,
become a villain, you have to leave my table. Like you
uh,
don't get to play with us anymore. But if you could convince me um of the moral ambiguity of what
yeah,
you're doing and it's not gonna be evil, then I'm like, sure, we can leave him tied to a tree. I'm sure someone will come along eventually to get him.
yeah,
And I told you all the time, I say heroes don't waterboard, but they do kill hull.
yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, what do you think, Jim?
I find that so with Sally that I play, which I'm wearing my Wednesday green. I always try to
very
wear
nice.
green when I play as Sally.
Little
Although
sad you're
last
not in a
time,
pink bikini.
yeah, well, because that's the running thing with my character is that she's a kind of a bit opposite of what I am as far as I she's my very first um tabletop character. So she's the one I actually put a personality with. It's not just looks like I can when I'm playing a video game.
Hmm.
So, with video games, I've had like my Fallout 76 character. One of them looks like me just because I didn't know what else to do. I was like, well, I'll just
Yeah,
make one that looks like me. And then I played a little bit and I was like, well, let me try a different build. So I made another character and she's my little old lady prior raider. And she has a little bit of backstory. My other character didn't have a backstory.
yeah,
Um, but with Sally, so I'm still working with her backstory because I don't really know what to make it as because my creativity is not in storytelling. My
Hmm.
creativity is in arts and crafts. um, So
Which hold on, Jen has made several really cool like pictures and stuff for us of our crew and everything.
That's true.
So
Oh.
she does really well.
HeroForge.com. If you guys have not heard of that site, it is so much fun because they keep expanding it with the different types of players you can build. And we have a 3D printer here. I have a PLA printer and a resin printer, so I
Oh,
can
the
buy
resin
the
printers are cool.
STLs. I can buy the STL files and print them home, or I can have HeroForge print them. But this, I'm hoping you guys can see that well
Yeah.
enough. So, let me focus. All right, so there is Joe's character, Eddie the Ghoul. So and that's what he made it and sent it to me. We have our Raider Randall. We have, oh, where'd that picture go?
Sorry, I didn't mean to get us off topic. I just wanted to give her a shout out about being cool.
Yeah.
All right, so
That's
here
good.
is Marty that went
Oh
feral.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah, then
Sally.
you've got Sally with the best I could do for a junk jet. We have so I need to do a recolor for this one, but that was our patches, and now we
Patches.
Oh,
have
yeah.
a Mr. Gutsy, well, Sergeant Gutsy, who is down here. We have our Millie with her rolling pin,
Yes.
Absolutely.
Natalie, where you at?
and we have Kazar,
That's me.
and she is giving her what the fuck is going on? Are you serious face? We have Scribe Sam,
Yeah, Maddie.
and then we have our Lando.
That's Noah.
That
Yeah, it's Noah.
and what's yeah, and I did this on Pic Collage. So the background for the picture is actually my dice on my mouse pad, and I have some glow in the dark dice. So it was like freshly after they were um, nuked with a UV flashlight.
Hell yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
that's the background for that one. So my plan is to, when the campaign's over, is to print that one. I had a smaller version that had everybody's names on it, but as we've added to the party, um, the plan was to do Christmas cards and put those into the Christmas cards. But there's still some other characters that we've had that I want to add in there too, like Bone
Gotcha.
Shakes
Yeah,
and such.
yeah. Awesome.
But I love that you love this table so much that you want to take your time and you want to invest your time and your materials into doing something like that to commemorate it. And that says a lot about you as a person and gaming in general is that you kind of, I'll say it again, gaming makes families. Gaming makes
Yeah,
families.
absolutely, absolutely. And like you've said before too, it's our their gaming can be very therapeutic.
Hmm.
And you've got, I want to say free therapy, but it's if you're having a rough day, okay, log in tonight, okay, if I don't feel like playing, just, oh well, just show up and I'll feel better. And you're right, you do.
Yeah.
2 hours later, you're just like, I feel so much better. I didn't talk about what was going on, but I just went and I had fun and
You're
something
able to
went
get outside
wrong.
of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So it's always a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Wednesday goes with more of our trek into Fort Strong.
shit, me
And I
too. I have
forget
no plan.
I forget why we're going there.
You
I
said
know
you
know
went
we
to Kill a
landed.
landed.
Behemoth. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had to
Yes,
land
and I did
somewhere.
that. I
Yeah.
did that, and so 4 more showed up.
No, we had to land somewhere, and our pilot was
Yeah.
drunk and he fell asleep. So that's where we had to go.
Your value meal wasn't very valuable.
Yeah, our big chicken.
We
Your
got what we
McChicken.
paid for. He's off the
Yeah.
dollar menu.
But so, question about your character though, Jen. Is Sally like a part of you? Like, is she a piece of you that you've put into this character, or is she just something that you kind of figured out as you go along?
She is. I'm still trying to figure her out, which I guess, I mean, as a person, that's what you always want to do. Is you're still trying, as even though I'm
Yeah.
almost 40, still trying to figure things out. I still want to be an occupational therapist when I grow up, and I'll be 40 in 6 months.
I'm still looking for ideas too. So
Yeah. So, I like that I've been in the Fallout universe for a few years, and I liked how the super mutants have some lore to them, but you only really get, maybe what there's Fox from 3,
Yeah.
Strong from
strong.
4,
There's
and you
Swan, the Virgil.
And then there's
yeah, Virgil.
I forget the lady's name in New Vegas. There's a lady companion in New Vegas.
I
I didn't
haven't
get that far
got.
with that one. There's
I
Uh,
haven't got
Gale
that
in
far.
76. She came
Hmm
with the
oh yeah,
Wastelanders,
yeah.
so she works with the Raiders.
Side note: did you know
And
that if you go talk to her in Crater every time, it'll give you more reputation with the Raiders?
Oh really?
oh,
Yeah, up your
Oh,
reputation. Sorry,
good to know.
continue.
that's good to know with one of my lower characters. I just log on to them to build camps, which camp building has gotten better.
Yeah.
And Joe, if you get back into 76,
Oh,
it has gotten better.
Yeah.
Shelters though give you a lot more wiggle room for
Oh,
building
I have
than
shelters. Yeah. I
airports.
yeah. I got called a dirty commie last time I was on there because I had the full communist setup. Like it looked I had a communist safe house thing going on. So I had like the white
oh my
you know what the
god.
White House thing is like
Uh huh.
Oh, the
I had
White
that on the
Spring.
yeah, well not the White Spring, it was like the cookie cutter house thing, like the pack you could get.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, so I
like the
had that.
building set.
Yeah, and then I had the communist wallpaper on the inside so they can look inside and they see all this communist stuff. And then I have the comrade bot outside and all that. And then my layer is just like a giant communist compound. So I get called a dirty commie.
Why
Before
does
that, I
that
had
track?
because I am a dirty commie. But before that, I had a what was it a Mothman camp. That was just like a Mothman like death camp because even before like all the other stuff, like when it first came out, I was a Mothman cultist, and so like that one like Firefly mission, I would
Hmm
like play. I would wait till like other people would be playing it, then I would play it. Then as soon as the Mothman would come, I would like bow before him and stuff and freak people out.
What the fuck?
And I like my entire camp was just Mothman.
See, you would love the current scoreboard, which I've heard referred to as a chore board
Oh
now,
yeah,
and
yeah, that's
Yes.
what it really is. Yeah.
it does make a lot of sense. But it's all cryptid inspired.
Oh,
So
is it
We're
cool?
all encrypted.
it's all cryptid. You even now get a Mothman follower, or
Oh,
a camp ally. That's what it is, and
okay,
he has
yeah,
his Mothman statue,
yeah.
and he prays to the Mothman, and they have a bunch of different like little Mothman things for your camp as
Okay,
well.
I
cool.
bought a giant dinosaur for my camp the other day.
Oh my gosh, that Bethesda didn't listen because it was they
Are you
what
new here?
players they're like, we want vertical half walls because we have the little
Yeah,
half floors and we have the
yeah,
little quarter floors. We need like
yeah.
a half wall to go on it. And they're like, we can't do half walls, but here's a giant dinosaur.
Which is even better. I said what I said. I said what I said.
um, what people do with the building is always really fun. When they do
Yeah,
merges, and I'm not very good at the merging part, but some people are like really, really good at it. And I love how they make my favorite camps are always the small ones that
yeah,
they
yeah,
have so much stuff just jammed in there because I'm a pack rat
yeah,
and
yeah.
my craft room is being split into 2 rooms right now, and both rooms are going to be full because I craft and you
Mm.
got to collect because you're going to need
Just
that paper and you're going to need that fabric, or a pandemic's going to happen and you're going to be thankful you have 1,000 yards of fabric, which you need face mask.
oh my god. Just don't make me walk. Like, don't force me on a tour of your camp to find your vendor. Like, if I like your
That's
camp,
true.
I will walk
Yeah,
around
yeah.
it, but
Hmm
don't make me do that.
I have it on my front porch so that everyone can see it. I also have spare rooms for people for the new players. I'm in like a new player area, so I have a couple spare beds and like stash boxes for them.
Aw.
Yeah, I decided to have like little like guest houses and stuff like that.
My
I
camp.
love that it's got I love to go to different camps and
Yeah.
even if I don't have any caps, I'll still go and I'll look and I get some inspiration. I love the views in the game
Yeah.
as, looking over, different
Yeah,
places and
It's
there's
a beautiful
places
game.
that it
it really
is.
is.
I love it.
And the
I
details
think
that they
it's
put in it.
weird.
Yeah.
I think it's weird that it's on a Groundhog Day like schedule.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
always it, I love but if they're gonna pick for it to be a same day thing, October in so fall in the mountains is beautiful. Like
Mhm.
Yeah, it
okay,
is. Yeah.
if you got to
Yeah.
pick a time to be stuck, fall
Yes.
in the mountains is great.
It is.
Let's
My
go for it.
camp is up on the northeast side of the map, and it's a dollhouse.
Oh yeah.
It's
I have
3
one
levels
too, and
and
I
it
refuse to take
opens.
it down.
I know, it's my favorite camp ever. And then I
Mhm.
have a few vaults. I have a bar in one of my vaults. I'm making a like a street carnival in one of them. The one that has a street and all that the shit in it. Which one is that?
Oh,
Oh, that's the one from the pit.
Yeah, the pit one.
oh, I
And
haven't even
then
played that
what else do I have? I have one that stays locked because I will get reported. Uh,
yet.
how many viewers do we have right now? See if I can tell
only
you.
only two, so we're good.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, we peaked
Nope.
like an
I'll
hour
tell you
ago, so
later.
we're good.
I know I saw that. I'll tell you later
All
because
We'll find out
it will get me
Wednesday.
banned. It'll get me banned. So,
right.
but that's my main
Yeah.
camp and it's what I have and I'm not moving it. And
Yeah.
I'm thankful we have multiple camp slots now because I've got
Yeah.
a camp that views the New River Gorge Bridge, and I'm like, I love this camp. I'm not
oh, that
moving
sounds
it. And so I have another camp that I'll play around with. And then for my other character that's got the dollhouse, that's the second dollhouse I've made, and I love it so much more than the first one. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not leaving this spot because my character has been in that camp spot for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And then one of my friends was like, well, I'm looking for a spot. I said, try this spot. My camp's over here. I made this other one active. Try this spot for a little while. And he loves it. And I love what he does with it there. And so I don't mind, handing my camp spot over to somebody. But I always, if somebody's in my spot, I will go to their camp and I will judge them. And I will
you'll
look.
judge
I'm
them
like,
Oh yeah.
and you give them a
are they,
thumbs down.
but usually it's something really cool. If I
No,
see something is just like, just the camp machine and just random workbenches everywhere.
Yeah.
that's
Like,
not a crack house. It's a crack home. It's a crack home.
I remember I read a story about some guy who I think maybe remember back in the beginning where the game was really hard. This guy he went straight to the cranberry bog at level 2 and built a camp out there and just
What the
camped out
fuck?
there. Yeah, that was his entire thing was that he was just
Nope.
surviving in the cranberry bog. With
Oh my
Scorch
god.
Beast flying over him and just hiding and just
What
he
the
just stayed
hell?
there the entire time. He's just like, this is
No.
cool, it looks cool. I'm just
And
gonna
his camp's
there
destroyed every
are
30
some really
minutes.
there
No,
are
he
some really pretty places in the cranberry bog, but I will not
there.
build a camp down there.
Nope.
Yeah, yeah.
But where mine is at, it's on a steel deposit. It's kind of northeast of South of Fort Atlas. And if you go down the hill, because it's kind of up on a hill, if you go down the hill, there's a random spawn point for the trick or treaters, for power armor, for sheep squatch, super mutants, all kinds of cool shit. Spawn the lemonade vendor, all spawn right there. And then if you go up, it's where that logging camp is, the Silva and Sons logging
Oh,
camp.
yeah.
Because that logging camp has 2 magazine spawns, a bobblehead spawn, and a lock.
Jesus.
And you also have the Sons of Dane compound right next to
Right
it
next
that
to it.
also has a bobblehead spot and 3 magazine spots. No, two bobblehead spots and 3 magazine spots.
I am 3 magazines short of finishing that whole
I
thing.
have 1. I have 1 magazine left. It's the Guns and Bullets number 6.
No, what do I need?
No,
I need
Covert Ops number 6.
really because I need Urban Scouts. No, wait, what is it? The Scouts Life 6 and Tesla Science 3. I think is what I'm missing.
All right, I want to call it here. We could chat some more offline, but
Are we done?
yeah, I think we should end it.
Everybody bailed on us.
Yeah, everyone bailed on us.
We talked
so-
about 76 and chased them all off.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Oh well.
It's all good. It's all good.
It was fun.
If y'all
So,
haven't tried it, try it. It's not that bad.
It really isn't. So I guess we'll sign off. Jen, do you want to sign us off?
thank you for being here this week. We really enjoy it. And we will see you next week. Same RPG time, same RPG channel, and some of the same RPG folks, hopefully more.
I love
Hopefully
it.
more, yeah. See you then. Bye.
Yes, Noah is still here.
All right, let's go to the offline screen.